Mr. Onion, into my little bed.
Here's a little thing for you to find. A little paper cone.
Once upon a time, there was a sleepy house. Everybody who lived in the sleepy house had been asleep for 100 years. What a long time to be asleep! Inside the house, everybody was fast asleep. Even Mr. and Mrs. Bear and Percy. What a sleepy house! Then, one day, there came Julia and Spencer with his paper cone. First, Julia and Spencer used his paper cone to listen. Julia and Spencer could hear snoring sounds coming from the sleepy house. Everybody is asleep, said Julia and Spencer. I will wake everybody up.
Onions!
Look, it's Mr. and Mrs. Bear and Percy. Mr. and Mrs. Bear and Percy is asleep. At last, the suitcase was packed. Mr. and Mrs. Bear and Percy is fast asleep at last. Upsy Daisy is having a rest at last.
Kubon!
Onions! Onions!
And, do you know, they all woke up.
Thank you for waking us up, said Upsy Daisy.
Onions!
I woke you all up, said Julia and Spencer. We've been asleep for 100 years, said Upsy Daisy. Let's have breakfast. First, we must wake up Mr. and Mrs. Bear and Percy, said Julia and Spencer. So everybody took up with Julia and Spencer to wake up Mr. and Mrs. Bear and Percy. Julia and Spencer called through his paper cone, and do you know, Mr. and Mrs. Bear and Percy woke up.
The Tombliboos woke Upsy Daisy up. Stop there, you idiot!